Hello everyone, my name is Sarah and today I'm going to be reviewing the Arc of a Scythe series by Neal Shusterman. So this consists of Scythe, Thunderhead, and the Toll. If you guys saw my last video, my kind of first part of the year wrap up, you would know I've already given all these books 5 stars. They are just that amazing. But just because they're all super great doesn't mean they don't have non-spoilery stuff to talk about. So, I'm going to give you guys reasons for those 5 stars for each of the books. Instead, I'm going to be as spoiler-free as possible, so I will label this as a spoiler-free review. So the synopsis is that these books take place in a seemingly utopian world where humans eradicated disease, hunger, aging, all that good stuff. Sounds perfect, right? But you still have overpopulation to contend with. And that is where this community of scythes called the Scythedom comes in, where they compassionately and without bias glean people or kill them. And basically it follows 2 Scythe princesses, Rowan and Citra, who don't want to be scythes, but they get entered into this world anyways, and they realize it is full of corruption and it's them navigating this very complex unique system. And basically it is such a good kind of environmental world. Like, the big part of this series is the world. It's not very character driven, which I'm surprised. I still like it because I am all about character development and character driven stories. Not to say that there isn't any character development, because there definitely is. There's tons of character development in this series. But basically, the major topics of these books are technology, mortality and immortality, corruption, and then also kind of like morally gray areas. So first, I'm going to list to you guys the my ranking of the books. Like, they're all 5 stars, but they're like, I guess, like, I enjoyed some more than the others, but I'm not giving different 5-star ratings because they all deserve 5 stars. Hands down, they are all 5-star books. But pretty much my favorite was Thunderhead, then Scythe, and then the Toll. So kind of mixed up, but they're all great in their own ways. So that is why they still all got the 5-star ratings that they deserve. First, Scythe. So this book, and honestly all 3 of these books, really, the first part of it is kind of slow. Specifically this one, because you're really getting used to the world and it's just a lot of world building. As I said, it's very much so a plot and environment related story. And it's, as I said, it's dual perspective. You get Citra and Rowan, and pretty much the first part of it's just world building. Then once that 1 grain of rice tips the scale, sorry to quote Milan, but everything gets going and snowballs really fast. And I could not put down the last half of this book. I just could not stop reading it. It was so amazing. Needless to say, it's kind of a slow start. So just get through the first half of the book, and then things take off and you will not be able to put it down. I promise. So overall, then this book had just kind of a huge cliffhanger ending, and I had to move on to Thunderhead like right away. And that's weird for me because typically I don't do well with series. I like reading different things in between, kind of give me kind of a break of the world. This one I just could not get enough of. So moving on to Thunderhead. So the big reason why this is my favorite one is that it basically had this world changing at a very fast pace. That the events of this book changed this world greatly. And what I like about this is that they add a couple more perspectives in it. At first it's a little confusing what those perspectives actually do, but we find that out later in the Toll why those perspectives exist. But in Thunderhead, you get the perspective of the Thunderhead, which, this isn't a spoiler, Thunderhead is mentioned in Scythe, and it's very prominent right from the get-go. And it's basically what we call a cloud, but it developed into an AI that now basically rules the world. It controls supply and demand. It controls weather, it controls animals, it controls everything, and it's like a daily part of every human's life. It is amazing, and it cannot break the law. And there's a like, now we have like a separation of religion and state. It's basically separation of state and Scythedom. It's super interesting, and I loved some of the events in here. I just like was on the edge of my seat, not wanting, or I was on the edge of my seat wanting to know who was behind what was going on in this book, in parts of this book. And when you're in the Thunderhead's perspective, it knows all. Like, it literally knows everything that's going on, but it still doesn't tell you who it is. And it was done so well, and it was so infuriating yet so wonderful. It was great. So this book just, as I said, it changed the world of this world, and the way the Thunderhead's perspective is just so well done. I just could not get over it. It was amazing. And then you get to the Toll, which is where a few of my cons of the series come in. So for this is, it carries on and adds more perspectives. And some of the perspectives I didn't really care for. Like, just being in the mind is just so interesting, but not entertaining per se. But in the end, you realize why those perspectives are the way they are. Basically lets you as the reader explore every conclusion that happened, like every side of the conclusion of the series. And it was done very, very well. As I through it, I was a little confused, and the timeline of when this takes place after the events of Thunderhead got a little confusing and convoluted for me, because their system of time is different than ours today. I mean, when you're basically immortal, it makes sense. That time would be a little different. So that was made a little convoluted and took away some enjoyment of reading. But ultimately, everything was still done so well in the Toll. It was amazing. And so those were the only two cons I really had, were in the Toll. The other books, or Scythe and Thunderhead, both were perfect all the way around, in my opinion. But then the Toll, I had just a couple little problems with them, but still didn't really take away my enjoyment from the reading overall, so I just gave all of them 5 out of 5 stars. They were great. So what I really like about this is, it might have been the timing, because of us dealing with the pandemic and all the problems in the world going on right now, it was quite the time to read it, dealing with mortality. And one of the things I found interesting is that humans are striving, to end aging, end world hunger, and end disease, and all this type of stuff. And then we also have such a reliance on technology, and also then the corruption in the world's governments and stuff like that going on. It all takes place and plays a part in this series. It was just such weird timing. But what I really want to talk about is the reliance on technology, and just how I can see the kind of future becoming kind of like this. And although it seems like a utopian to have this compassionate AI who wants to take care of every single human being on this planet, sounds perfect, it's not. And I can't go any further into that without getting into spoilers, but it definitely makes you realize, I'm like, so what if like technology, like Google, went down right now, and how would we react to it? Like, probably not well. So it's just so interesting that we are so reliant on technology already, let alone when literally technology is what takes care of us in this book, or in this whole series. It just gives you so much to think about. And even, like, this seems like a utopian, but it's not. It's so interesting to think about, and it's scary because, this is the world we are aiming towards. And yeah, it talks about the negative effects of this world that we want. Neal Shusterman did a great job at definitely making me learn stuff from these books, and then also just think so much deeper about the world's big questions. And I think that's what I really liked about it, is a book that really makes you think. Like, it also deals with a lot darker themes, and these books are very dark. As I said, they make you think about the world's questions, and just like what humanity can be capable of is just making, you know it from our world's history that humanity is capable of such moral darkness, and yet this book takes to like a whole other level. Like, what if, like, I don't know, it's hard to explain. All I have to say is that I highly recommend the series, that everyone should read this. I get that these dark themes aren't everyone's cup of tea, and if you're not in the right place of mind, I would not read this then. But if you're in the mood for something that kind of challenges your beliefs, something that can really make you think, this is a great series, specifically with what's going on today. This is a great series to read, and it's uncanny, but it's amazing at the same time, if that makes sense. Alright, well, that's the end of my review of the wonderful Arc of the Scythe series. In conclusion, all these books are wonderful and 5 out of 5 stars in my opinion, and I highly recommend you guys read them. In the comments below, I'd like to know if you guys have read the series, and if you have, what you guys think of that. I'd love to open up a bookish discussion with you guys. And if you haven't read them, are you willing to read them now, or are you thinking about it? Because that'd be great. I'd love to know. So I really appreciate you guys for watching this video. Go ahead and give this video a thumbs up if you liked it. And also go ahead and subscribe to my channel if you want more bookish content from me, and hit that bell icon so that you guys know every time I post a new video. And I also have a bookish Instagram, so you should go follow that at bookworm.sarah. Anyways, as I said, thank you guys for watching this video. It literally means the world to me. And I hope you guys are staying safe, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye!